one day I will master you. I will master you one day. What a trumpet! I love that trumpet, and I thought I'd get on it today and show you how I made that trumpet sound. So this is using a Native Instruments trumpet sound. Now this is, before I get into this, right, this is a beautiful instrument, a beautiful trumpet that a very good friend of mine donated to me. Thank you so much. I have not learned how to play it yet. I'd love to. I might get round to it. Don't play trumpet. I'd love to. I must learn one day.
Trumpet gods, give me strength to learn you.
I'm always envious of trumpet players because, you know, trumpet players turn up at gigs and they're like, pull this thing out of their little case, put the mouthpiece in, and off they go. And I get so envious of that, you know. Anyway, what I thought I would do today is just to show you how I've got a really nice, authentic, raspy trumpet sound that used for a track some time ago. And I was really impressed with this because he was a very well-known producer who's mixed on lots of tracks that sold millions of records, actually said to me, dude, do you play the trumpet? I didn't know that, because he thought it was so authentic sounding, and that's the one I just played you. So I thought I'd break down how I did that, and the reason I'm doing that is because I thought it was quite a good testament. If someone says, hey, it sounds like a real trumpet, you know, you can get this real trumpet sound with software. So what I used for this, as you can see here, Session Horns Pro from Native Instruments, and I've got the trumpet setting, trumpet 1. I've got it plugged into my keyboard so I can play. You can hear it's there, but what I will do is I'll just turn off the effects and I'll give you the sound straight out of the box. Nice trumpet sound, nice basic trumpet sound. Now with the Native Instruments, it does come with a bunch of things that you can put on, such as effects and delays and stuff. Reverb. And already it sounds more like a trumpet, right? More authentic. I don't tend to use these reverbs in here with the Native Instruments, because I tend to like to put them on afterwards in my chain because I have more control and there's more things I can do with them. So that's basically it that I used, that basic trumpet. Nothing changed on there really, it was just this trumpet. And then I used this fascinating reverb, which I believe is free from, what is it, Oral River, Denis Thianov. Check this out. Nice, huh? It's a beautiful sound, that reverb. I won't change the settings, but by all means download that and screenshot what I've got. But what made a real difference to the sound that I wanted for this trumpet was using this supercharger plugin. Now check this out. What I did at the end there is just started to use these Native Instruments key switches, because all Native Instruments come with these key switches. And for if you think about it, with a trumpet player, when they're playing, I mean, I don't know much about trumpet playing, but they will use what's known as rasps or staccato notes, vibrato, grace notes, slides, and all the amazing things that they've learned to do with their mouth. So, you know, to make a trumpet part sound kind of like a trumpet player when you're programming it in, you need to think in terms of like, what did they do to make that sound? And is it like a grace note, staccato, vibrato? And brilliantly, Native Instruments supply you with these key switches. So what I'll do is I'll go over to the this keyboard here, and you can see that they assign notes from the scales to various key switches that do various things. So if I start with this basic vibrato setting, I could go to non-vibrato by pressing this button, this key. C sharp. If I press a D1, it's a FP create. I don't know what that means, but it's that sound. It's kind of nice sound. Back to the vibrato. And then we've got a grace note if we use a D sharp. Just hear the little note come in before. Blah, blah. Next one, we have a grace note vibrato, which is an E. So there's a little note that comes in before the note. Then vibrato. Then we have a growl. Really effective. F sharp is staccato. Rips. Really humanizes the whole thing, right? And there is a humanized dial, as you can see. Excuse me, a humanized dial, as you can see on the interface itself. So it's amazing. You know, if you could spend quite a bit of time learning these key switches while you're playing, you know, could actually do a pretty cool live performance to emulate what a trumpet player does. I usually program these in, but what I've got here for my solo, I think I use this wheel here. Let me put it back to C. What was I on to begin with? C sharp vibrato. And at the top end of this wheel, I've got this going off into eternity, sliding up through a scale, and then in the opposite end of the wheel, I've got this going down the other way. Beautiful, right? So it's really unbelievably useful. So that's the way I've got that solo. Just play it through once more. So what I did when I played this solo, and if you look at the MIDI information, I've still got it in MIDI format here, so you can see it. You will see that actually the notes played, you know, it's not quantized to the grid. You know, there's some notes that are bang on the grid, but some of the notes aren't played. You know, they're not bang on the grid. It's because it would just sound too mechanical and too grid-like, of course, for them. And you know, you're trying to go for the way that a trumpet player might play this. So this one's a bit early. This one's bang on the beat. You know, some are a bit late. This one up here is late, on the beat, a bit late, a bit early. So it's just pushing and pulling, giving that sort of tension and that kind of humanistic feel that all musicians do when they play. Let's listen to it again one more time. And I love it. Now, some would say, oh man, it's so over the top. The reverb's just like, whoa. But, you know, in the context of the song, it really sticks out and it makes it this raspy pop trumpet thing, you know. And I'm a big fan of the use of trumpets in pop songs. I always have been. If you need some help with your trumpet sounds, if you like this trumpet sound, anything you don't like about it, let me know. Either way, let me know in the comments. And, likes are always free, so give a like to this video. If you really like it, subscribe. I do publish these videos from time to time on bits and bobs about music production, making songs, writing. And it's a pleasure to give it back to you. I love doing that. It makes me smile a lot, and it makes me smile getting your comments. So let me know what you think about this trumpet solo using Native Instruments. All the best.